Welcome to the France 24 Observers. This show is based on our network of observers. They're ordinary people who tell us what's going on where they are and send in photos and videos to document it. We check everything here in Paris and bring the best to you. We begin today with the legislative elections in Egypt. Longtime President Hosni Mubarak's party was the big winner in the first round, virtually demolishing the opposition. They claim widespread vote rigging and fraud. Our observer tells us about one apparent instance of ballot stuffing and says it's not a good sign for next year's presidential vote. He's in Cairo and his name is Mohamed Al-Dashan.
The video shows an election official busy filling out voting ballots. The ballots are blue, which means they're for the quota of seats that are set aside for women. This year, they added around 60 new seats in the parliament for women. You see him checking the first two names on the ballot. They're both from the ruling party, the president's party. On the video, you hear someone saying that the number of ballots has to be balanced. He tells the man there have to be the same number of blue ballots as white ones. They're the normal ballots for the election. He's reminding his colleagues that if they put in lots of blue ballots for women candidates, they have to put in the same number of regular ballots, so it looks realistic. So there are the same number of fake votes for both. We're going to have presidential elections in a few months, in the first half of 2011. I think most Egyptians probably think we'll see the same kind of fraud then too. That the dice will be loaded again in favour of the presidential party's candidate.
Now to the favelas of Rio de Janeiro and the Brazilian government's offensive against drug gangs there. Our observer followed one of the raids. It was in the Vila Cruzeiro favela. Our observer, Pedro Serra.
I had never seen that many policemen in my life, so I just stayed a little behind. I went inside with them, and there were some times that it was a little bit frightening. In some parts we were protected by walls, but when we had to cross a road, we could just see the favela, and we thought, you know, maybe a shot would come from there. It was amazing. If you looked at the walls, they were all covered with bullets, with bullet holes. You could hear so many machine guns and, like heavy weapons, just ta 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 ta. And then the helicopter of the police would just fly really low, just firing. I imagine how being a journalist in Iraq would be. That was my Iraq. And we are not fighting an invading country. We are fighting, people from our own country. I've been to France and I've seen police with, just a pistol or something, and, they couldn't live in Brazil.
We finished today with a subway story from New York. Our observer was riding the train, minding her own business, when she was confronted by a flasher. Instead of getting embarrassed or looking the other way, she decided she was not going to take it. We head to New York City with Nicola Briggs.
I noticed that the car finally began to clear out as we got to Midtown. But I noticed that there was a person behind me who, for whatever reason, hadn't stepped back. And so I turned around again and I saw that this person had exposed themselves. Something went off in me and I just decided to publicly shame this person, as anyone should be shamed who engages in this behavior.
I'm not leaving your side. My plans are done for tonight. I'm escorting you to the police station, okay? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I know what I saw.
With the doors open, we had to keep him in place there. And he was arrested. On November 9th, he was convicted. He was given 4 months prison time and sentenced to deportation to Mexico. And yes, it was difficult for me to scream the word penis in public and, swear over and over again, which I'm not driven to do. But it needed to be done. You must set aside any kind of, at that moment, ladylike reserve and basically put people on notice that this is not acceptable.
That's it for this week. As always, you can find more reports from our observers on our website. See you next time.